Happy fall, everyone. So today is October 28th. Fall is here. The leaves are falling. Today we are working on the track, and I'm sorry to say that it's actually only day 3. So the first track build video went out in June. It is now October, and you can see we have not done anything to this track. I have just been way too busy. But today is the day we make some changes around here. So if you didn't see the last video, you can see we roughed out this area on my property. And it's roughly, people ask in the comments how big it is. It's roughly 70 feet across and it's 200 feet long. So it's massive, it's a good size. Now, the next step in the process, the first video was actually creating the space, right? Because this was just woods. So trees had to come down, everything had to be roughed out. So the next step in the process is we have this bank, which is gonna be the driver's stand. And it sits about 6 foot high. I'm 6'3", and the top of the bank is basically at eye level with me. So we need to get a wall in here. And then on that far side over there, same thing. We're carved into the hillside, so we need a wall over there. So originally my thought was to save the rock and do a boulder wall. Well, I quickly realized that I don't have enough rock to do that, and I don't want to be bringing rock in. I do have a bunch of rock. This is where the entry to the track, the land slopes up, so this will eventually be like the walkway down. I do have rock on the other side of my property, but it's a long ways away, and I don't feel like, and I need a wall over there as well. That's why the rock is there. I don't really feel like walking all that rock over here. So I was trying to think of a plan B. And being in construction, there's always a plan B. So gave it some thought, and I decided that I was gonna do a retaining wall, concrete retaining wall. Now, there's a few ways to do that. I can form it up and pour it. I have the forms. But getting a concrete truck down there could be a bit challenging, seeing as I got to go across the front yard. So this is what I came up with. So these are, we call them bin blocks for like landscape storage. So these blocks are 6 foot wide by 2 feet tall by 2 foot thick. And they weigh roughly 3,500 to 3,800 pounds a piece. So I spent the last 2 days trucking all of these in with my F350 and trailer, 3 block to a load. My trailer is a 16,000 GVW, so I didn't want to push more than 3. It's a lot of trips. I've got 24 block here, a couple of half block, which are 3-footers in case I need to stagger. So the mission today is to get some walls up. I need to get the walls up this weekend because I have 10 loads of clay coming in for the track base for next weekend. So the tools I will be using to do that is this Komatsu PC138 and my KX57. So my 57 picks the blocks up and will walk them, but it's a lot for that machine, being 3,800 pounds, and I got to make 24 trips all the way down there. So short of blowing out my final drives and my sprockets, I figured I would just bring in a different machine, and my big machine that you saw in the last video is on a job, so it wasn't going to be worth me trucking it down. So I was able to get this one on loan from a friend. One of those things when you're in construction and you have big toys, you're typically you know people also that have big toys, and some days they might need yours and some days I might need theirs. So I was gracious enough to get this one on loan for 2 days. So first step in that process is going to be moving the boulders that are there. We're going to use them for part of the wall, probably where the entry is. So I need to get those out of the way, and then I need to flatten out that area, because obviously I don't want any lean with these blocks. I need to make sure that it's nice and flat and level. I'm not putting any drainage under the wall. I'm not putting any drainage behind the wall. Those of you in the business are going to be screaming in the comments that the wall is going to fall over. It absolutely won't. If I was doing a retaining wall, like a landscape wall, absolutely that's the way to go. Put rock underneath it, bury the first row, put rock behind it, put a 4-inch pipe. Well, this is literally 4 months and none of that bank has come down. The ground where I am is extremely hard. It does not move. So I am going to just move forward and get the wall put up. And worst case scenario, if the wall pushes, I've got the equipment to fix it. So I'm not really concerned about it. So step one is going to be getting the machines fired up, getting them warmed up. I've got a tripod set up down there. I'll try to put this in time lapse, but you guys know I do everything on my iPhone, so short of my phone dying, I'll film what I can, and I'll bring you back when I can as the wall is going up. So that's the deal. I'm gonna get some equipment down below, get the tripod set up, and we're gonna start giving it hell. See you in a second with something to watch. All right, so the rocks are moved, and I've got this side all tracked down and flattened out. So I'm gonna go grab a block and bring it down. Try to get you guys in a position potentially where you can see me coming down. This slope is massive, by the way. I'm gonna have to figure out a walkway at some point, but that's for the end. All 10 loads of my material need to come down that hill. Huh. Probably a lot of skid steer buckets. So yeah, let me get the camera set up and I'll be back down here with a block here in just a second. Caleb's working on, he's starting to mess around with the other side over there. It's gonna take a little bit of doing. So see you here in a second with a block. Yeah, it's a little bit dicey coming down the hill, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go get a level. We're gonna level the first row, make sure it's nice and level and flat. I'll get the first row in. I don't have a ton of storage on my phone and I don't have a ton of battery, so you guys are gonna have to, it kinda is what it is. Caleb and I will get the first row in. I'll bring you back when the first row's done. Then I'll put it in time lapse and you can watch me just kind of plop them in place. It all goes quick after the first row. See you in a second. So that's the first 4 in place. I figured I'd take you along for the ride on this one. Not only is my wife understanding about me putting in a track, she's understanding about me destroying the yard in the process. She is a saint. Yes, that just happened. No need for a ground guy with Keith around. Hook and go. All that's while holding the camera too. £3,800. I was talking to Jason at True Vintage and I was showing him pictures of the block and he was like, "You do not do anything half-ass." I was laughing. Just want to bring the block a little bit closer to the ground here. This is steep. I'm probably 12 feet above the track right now. Steeper in person than it looks on camera. around out there wants to throw the back end of the machine around, so you gotta be careful. Just take it nice and slow. This is where it gets really steep. Grab my bucket, get that block back in the air. Doing it one-handed here, so try not to hit the wall on my right side too. That's it, we're down. Level ground. Number 5 is going in. Thinking about having a graffiti artist come in and tag the wall when it's all done. I think that would be cool. Little RC Icons logo. Maybe put some other YouTube channel logos on there. All right, hold on. I'm gonna try to do this without killing my son. Yes, I am holding a camera right now while I'm doing this. Hold on, Caleb. There you go. Watch your toes. And it's down. So now I just need to level it out with the other ones. So that's it. That's the trip, getting a block. We'll level this one out. It looks like we got maybe 1 or 2 more left on the row, and then it's just stacking. The hard part's over. I'll see you in a second here. Something different. Caleb, wave. Hello, YouTube. All right, so it's been about 3 hours. First row is in. So on the driver's sand side, let me see, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. So that's, what's that, 42 feet. And on the curve side, we've got 4. I got to make up the rest of the curve with rock. Obviously with these blocks, you kind of need to run somewhat of a straight line. So I'm going to put the camera here on time lapse. I've got a full battery, and you guys can sit back and watch me put second course on. See you in a bit. All right, so that's gonna wrap up day 3. I'm not sure if this will be the end of the video or not, but I gotta look at the footage. So the main wall is in. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 42 feet long. And then I've got it 6 feet tall over here where the tree is, just to kind of hold this back. The blocks aren't the best looking, but again, they're waste block. They're just for bins. And I don't really care how it looks, to be honest. I'm not looking at this side of it. I'm up there looking this way. So to me, it doesn't really matter what the wall looks like. I might have a graffiti artist, I may have said this already, come in and tag the wall, put a nice big RC Icons logo on it. And then this will eventually be a walkway coming down. Now, this is 12-foot elevation change at least. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna pull that off, but I need this slope to stay here. So I'm probably gonna stack some rock in the corners on each side of the wall just to kind of hold that back. That'll be for tomorrow. This wall, I backfilled the tops and behind as well. So this one is basically all set. I'll probably bark mulch or something at the top just to make it look decent, because in between the lanes I am gonna grass. And then because this is turning and I can't turn the straight block, they're not meant to make a radius. They would have to be angled to the back. I started doing a boulder wall just to make this corner. So yeah, that's it. Day 3's in the books. Most of the wall is up, and we're just gonna keep pecking away. It's looking good. So I have to apologize. You guys missed day 4. It was pouring out, but I continued to work. You can see the rocks. I built up the corners. I built up the corner here where entry, ramps up, and did both sides. It's ugly as hell, but it is what it is. I don't really care. And then I made the corner up over here. Boulder walls, they are such a pain in the ass. I'm so glad I did not do that wall in particular with rock. And then I took the rest of the rock and I just dropped it over the edge over here, just to help hold that bank up, because like I said in the first video, this slopes, so it's at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 foot drop off the edge of the track on the far side. So I just beat the rock, a lot of the rock down in. So that's probably gonna wrap up this video. I looked at the footage and we're almost a half an hour, 22 minutes or something like that. So the next step in the process is gonna be marking lanes, and my material's coming in this week. So the next video for the track build, video 3, will be marking lanes and bringing in the material. And then I'm not sure if we'll get the bumpers in that video or not, but that's essentially the order of service. I figured we'll get lanes marked, material in place, start getting kickers and stuff built, and then bumpers, and then loaming the centers, or in between the lanes. And then the very last portion will be driver's stand. So that's it. We are November 1st, and time is ticking. Snow will be falling before you know it. My son left his football tee out on the yard. This weekend I gotta get the walkway done. This walkway is getting replaced. That's the deal I made with wifey. I get to build my track, but she gets a new walkway. So this weekend is walkway, next weekend is lanes. So we'll see you in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you later. Thanks.